Welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host, Heather, known as Bunnyfish on Ravelry and Plurk. This is episode 6, In the Sick House. Grab some sticks and string and come sit with me. So, both my kids are sick. Yep, Gabriel got sick too now. They have colds and they were up all night coughing. So, part of this going on, the dark circles under my eyes, part of that is not sleeping last night. And part of it is because I am not wearing glasses, so you can actually see. I have these lovely dark circles under my eyes all the time. Thanks, Mom. They're genetic. She has them. I think my sister has them too. I don't know, because she pretty much always wears glasses, so you can't tell. You can't tell when I'm wearing glasses either, but they're always there. I'm not wearing glasses because I went to the optometrist to get my eyes checked, and he gave me a trial pair of contacts to wear until I get my glasses. I wore contacts for about a year once when I was pregnant with Gabriel, but I just don't like them as much as I like glasses. They're too much work, like when your kids get up in the middle of the night and you don't have them in, and you have to kind of look around and stumble around. I'm nearsighted, so I can't, it just doesn't work. I still have my broken glasses, and that's what I wore last night when the kids got up in the middle of the night. I have absolutely no idea what I was talking about because the UPS guy just knocked on the door and scared the daylights out of me. I knew that the kids were getting a package today, I just didn't realize it was coming UPS and that they knock on the door. Normally they're sent USPS, and they just set the package on my doorstand. So getting a knock on my door when I didn't expect it kind of made me jump a little, especially since the kids are actually both in their rooms quiet right now, and Molly's now devastated that she didn't get to go outside. Probably something about contacts. I think that I was saying that I used to wear them, but I don't wear them anymore because they're just too much work. So I really can't wait until I get my new glasses, but wearing contacts is better than wearing broken glasses. Sorry, I launched right into that story. Welcome to returning viewers. Welcome back, and to new viewers, I'm glad you found me, and hopefully you'll come back every week now too. Before I get into the content of the show, I want to say thank you to Holly, who is Memphis Holly on Ravelry. Last week on Random Active Patterning Tuesday, it's something that Carrie started, Knit Pearl Girl, the podcaster who passed away not long ago. She started it. Well, Holly sent me not just a pattern, she sent me an ebook. I can't show you pictures because I didn't print it and I don't have something that I can show you on. But this ebook is amazing. It's called Knit Sock Love, and it's by Cookie A. I really, really like Cookie A's designs. Really, really like them. They're not all things that I personally like for me, but I can say that at least 75% of her designs are things that I want to knit for myself or other people. And this ebook has, I think 19 designs, something like that. And I know that at least half of them were things that I was like, yes, I want to knit you right now. So Holly, thank you so, so much. I will definitely be knitting some of these patterns for the personal sock yarn club that the Traveling Sock Knitter hosts on her podcast group. You'll definitely be seeing some of these. Not next month. Next month I'm actually making a different Cookie A pattern for the socks that I'm making, but I will be using this Knit Sock Love for sure. The patterns are gorgeous. Just wait, you will be impressed, I'm sure. Okay, on to the knit and crochet along for animals, stuffed animals, dolls, or monsters. For Craft Hope Project 19, they're collecting those items for children who were affected by Hurricane Sandy. The prize, I will give a prize for this knit crochet along. It will be $7, up to $7 for a toy pattern that's giftable through Ravelry. There is a chatter thread and a finished objects thread, so feel free to jump in. It doesn't take that long to make a toy. The pattern doesn't matter. The mailing address is linked in the group on Ravelry. I have 3. I finished the last owl last week. There you go. The lighting in here is really, really bad. We're actually in the middle of a thunderstorm right now, which is really exciting. I love thunderstorms. I mean, if you're going to have rain, you may as well have lightning and thunder too to make it exciting, right? So that's what's going on. Here are 2 of the toys that I made. And then this guy. I'm going to take a break from making toys, I think, maybe, for the rest of the week. Molly, that sounds like you're not supposed to be playing with it. I'm going to send these out tomorrow, and maybe I'll finish more before the deadline, but maybe not. But these are definitely going out tomorrow in the post. And so far, no one has posted their finished objects. I know that some people are waiting until after the holidays, which is fine because the Knit Crochet Along goes through January 7th, 2013 at noon Eastern Time. So go ahead and start whenever. It really doesn't take that long to make a toy. I mean, less than a day to make this and this. This one took me a little bit longer, maybe 2 days, but still not that long. Something you could definitely knock out after you get your holiday crafting underway. On to my finished objects. I have 4, but one of them is gone. That orange cowl that I was making for Hillary, I sent it last week, and she got it. She has all 3 of the cowls and the hat that I sent her. But, you remember the orange cowl, I'm sure, if you watched last week. It's pretty hard to forget, very bright. I finished my mom's socks. They have a pocket. I realized after I finished the socks that I put the pockets on the same side, rather. Oops. Design feature. Hopefully my mom doesn't hate them. If she does, I guess I will make her a 3rd sock to go with it. This pair of socks took 1.1 balls of yarn, so I still have 90% of this ball of yarn. So I could make her a 3rd one if it's a really big deal. Hopefully it won't be. This is Yarn Bee Walkaway in the colorway Ballet. Let's see if I can show you the colors of these socks. Blue and green and purple with white bamboo strand running through it. Made on size 2, 2.75 US, US size 2, 2.75 millimeters. Yes, that one. Size needles. I also finished Cecilia's Ruby-ish slippers. Her feet are so little. I had Gabriel try them on though, and they fit him pretty well, and his feet are a little bit bigger than hers, so hopefully they'll fit. And here is the bow detail that I was telling you about, that I was trying to put on. Can you see the bow? These are supposed to represent Dorothy's Ruby slippers. And I think that in person they're really cute and you can really tell what they are. I'm having a hard time photographing them, partially because it's storming outside and there is no sun, and partially because my model is 4. Actually, Gabriel is really good about sitting still. Mara, on the other hand, wants to touch the phone all over the place. She keeps like hitting the screen to focus it on different places. So I think I got a good picture, and hopefully the Nerd Wars people will be able to understand what I am trying to get across. I'm going to submit this today, and if it doesn't go through, that still gives me time to make a new project if they don't think this works. This is Lion Brand Sock Ease in the colorway Cotton Candy. I made this on US size 2.75 millimeter needles. That's my default for socks, is size 2. I know a lot of people go tighter, but I don't know, I like the fabric on size 2s. So, my last finished object is cat bed number 5. They are all done. I'm really excited that they're done. It frees up, 10 minutes a day that I used to put in working on the cat beds alone. Sorry, a lot of ums today. I blame it on the lack of sleep that's been going on in my life recently. Sorry. I'm usually much more eloquent. What can you do? This is based on One Skein Pet Beds by Chris Porter, and it's Karen Simply Soft in watermelon with Red Heart, with Karen 1 pound in soft pink, and then out here this is Red Heart Super Saver Pretty in pink, and then out here somewhere I switched over to Red Heart Super Saver Light Pink for the lighter color because the 1 pound ran out, which is good. The whole point of making these is to get rid of some of my acrylic stash because I have had a lot and now I have much less. And then I'm not sure what this fuzzy pink yarn is, but fuzzy pink. And those are made with size J. This is made with size J 6.0 millimeter hook. And those are all of my finished objects. I'm feeling pretty good about what I got done. I'm going to be able to submit 3 Nerd Wars challenges this afternoon, so that's really exciting. It means I'll only have 2 to go. And I might actually be able to submit a 4th project, depending on if I get my work in progress done today, which I think I might, but getting ahead of myself. On to Rachel's Afghan. All of these squares are made using Red Heart Super Saver in the colorway Bright Yellow, and let me just show you the yarn. Super Saver in Bright Yellow, and Vanna's Choice in Scarlet. It's the last of one of the balls. I have much more. I actually think I'm going to have extra, and I'm going to be able to return it, some of it, probably 2 skeins, and then in the colorway Black. By the way, if you're looking for something nifty on a label, Vanna's Choice totally has it. There's a ruler on the sides, and not just the outside, but also the inside. Yeah, there's a ruler there, so you can measure your things, which comes in really handy when you leave your tape measure upstairs when you're in the basement and you want to measure and see how big your square is. So, square number 1, this is Velvet and Lace by Priscilla Hewitt. It's made with a US size G hook. Which is 4.0 millimeters. And that was the October 12-inch square. This was the September 12-inch square. Sweet Peas by Rebecca Bisbing. Used a US size I, which is 5.5 millimeter, and a US size J, which is 6.0 millimeter hook to make this square. I think it's really pretty, and it wasn't too fiddly. The instructions were really clear, which was really, really nice. This was a December 12-inch square. It's called Cherry's Jubilee by Mary McKnight, US size H, 5 millimeter. This one was not so nice to make. It was very fiddly. On the Ravelry page for the pattern, it says it has like 3 corrections, and then on the actual pattern page it states the corrections again, and there were a few rounds where I just could not get the stitch count right, so I just winged it. I think it turned out okay. I think it turned out fine, actually. I think it'll look good in the blanket. It's just, beware if you're going to make this pattern that you probably will have to fiddle with it a lot. Or maybe I just can't read patterns. That could be it. This was the other December 12-inch square. It's the Crocheted Snowflake Afghan by Peyton's. US size H hook, 5mm. Ooh, Mara made this. How exciting! This was the November 12-inch square. It's actually the African Sun 9-inch square by Edith E. Smith. It uses a US size H 5mm hook. I just repeated this round up here to make it 12 inches. No big deal. It was really easy. And that is all of the squares for Rachel's Afghan, which is good because the holiday party is in less than a week, and I still have to put it all together. Not all of it. I've started putting it together a little bit, and then do 3 border rounds. Should be easy, but we'll see. I mean, I should be able to get it done in a day if I just sit down and do it. It shouldn't be a big deal. You will not see this anymore because it will be given to its recipient before the next podcast. But I will take a picture and put it in next week, maybe, so you can see. Sock yarn blanket. Got a little bit of love this week. I made a square using the Lion Brand Sock Ease Toffee. That's the yarn that I made the DNA socks out of. The Red Heart and Soul Toasted Almond. I made my mom's Morse code socks out of that. Peyton's Croy Socks FX. Mara in the colorway Camo Colors. We have a co-host, Mara. I used Yarn Bee Walkaway in Ballet. And I used sorry. Science Monkey Mercantile Faraday Sock Yarn in NSO Vember. I made the square using this yarn first before I started the socks so that I could make the socks as big as possible. Okay, we are now situated with co-host Mara. You will hear Mara chatter for a while and probably see stuffed animals in the corner of the screen. Happens when you have babies. On to works in progress. I only have 2 because I finished so many things last week. I actually picked up Andy's socks and worked on them. Not much. I picked them up last night, but let's see. This stitch marker right here, not the one dangling, but this one right here marks where I was. I think I did 4 rounds last night. Hi. Hi. I am planning on working on these socks a lot this week. I am also taking only them to the holiday party at Steve's aunt's house this weekend. Pretty sure I said I was taking them to the holiday party that we just went to, but I did not. Well, I took them, but I didn't work on them. I finished my mom's socks instead. And then the other work in progress that I have is something I started this morning. It is a Christmas tree that I want to have done today so I can send it out in the post tomorrow. Hi, baby. Hi. This is for kids' Grandma Roxanne.
I don't know.
Gabriel strung the beads. You might remember me saying
I
that.
don't know.
I'm very close to done. I think I have 5 or so rounds left. Just one more repeat of the decorated part, and then I will be done. So that should be easy to finish today. Hi, can we keep my show notes where I had them, please? Thanks. Amanda's socks, by the way, Christmas Tree is based on Christmas Tree by, thanks Mar, Helen Free, using Red Heart Super Saver Patty Green USH 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. Amanda's socks are drops 117-12, that's the pattern, using Serenity sock weight in the colorway Charcoal, using size 1 2.25 millimeter needles. Thanks. Let's put that back where it was. I will be finishing up this Christmas tree and finishing up the other Christmas tree that I started, you might remember, because that is a gift that needs to be given this weekend. And I will also be finishing up Rachel's Afghan this week. Those are the things that need to be finished because they're gifts that need to be done by the end of the week. On to ideas. I think that's what's next on my list. I don't know. Mara has stolen my show notes. I'm going to be casting on, thank you, this is where I wanted it, a sock. Using this yarn, I'm going to be casting on socks for Melissa. I'm in love with this yarn, and I wish you could see the colors. I think last week you could see them pretty well in my bedroom window. So I'm really excited to start that. Thank you. Please stop. Is she really distracting to you? Because she's really distracting to me. But if I don't just keep her in my lap, I'll never be able to get a podcast out today. This is where she's been all day pretty much because she still has her cold. It's not bad. It's getting better. And she's been sleeping through the night. She woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning last night, but the previous 3 nights she slept all night.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, you keep reading. So I'm going to start those socks. I'm not positive what pattern I'm going to be using. Probably something lacy because she wants knee highs, and it's 400 yards minus the, I don't know, 30 yards that I used in the square. I don't know if it's 30. That might be a gross exaggeration. I can't remember. Maybe it's only like 10. I can't remember right now. Whatever it is, I use those in my blanket. So I'll be making a lacy pattern to make sure that they get as high as possible for her. I am also starting crocheting a rug for That Screen's Not For You for Becca's sister. I started making the balls of yarn out of fabric, and I'm gonna be right back. I need to get rid of this. She's driving me crazy. I'm back. I kicked my co-host off the show because she couldn't stop touching my things and was distracting me. So I'm going to be making a rag rug for Becca's sister using navy, maroon, it's got some pink in it too, but it's mostly maroon, and off-white. I'm going to be crocheting that for her. I'm still in the process of turning the rags into balls of yarn. This is pretty much as far as I have. I have another ball of this, about half this size. Not enough to make a rug yet, but it will be someday. And something else that's going to be coming up that I'm really, really, really excited about doing is my best friend, Mary Lee. She wants yarn balls, which they're like dreadlocks made of yarn that you just put in your hair, like on a ponytail, or you can actually braid them into your hair. She's done that a few times. And she and I were talking about me spinning her some art yarn for it. I spent probably 3 hours on Etsy last Tuesday, I think it was, trying to find fiber colors that she wanted, because first she said she wanted black and white with a little bit of purple. So I sent her some likely yarns, excuse me. Not yarns, fiber. I sent her some likely fiber choices. And then as we were talking, she was like, well, what I really want is kind of like a natural brown color with a little bit of purple. So I found her different fibers. And now she's all excited. She's going to buy fiber and some dark purple ribbon, which I'm going to use for one of the plies. She wants the yarn super, super thick, like pinky thick. That should be interesting. I've never spun yarn quite that thick. I did spin that Corriedale pretty thick, but not quite that thick. But I'm looking forward to the challenge because she also wants like beads and feathers and scraps of fabric spun in. So really, really arty art yarn. I'm really, really excited. She's going to have all the stuff for me when I visit in January, when I visit Michigan. So that will be really, really exciting. I can't wait to show you how that works out. Yeah, I know I haven't been spinning lately, but I think it's just because that fiber is kind of itchy and I'm not in love with it. And the reason why I got it done last month, the part that I got done, was because I was making it for a Nerd Wars challenge, and I'm just not feeling the love in it right now. But since I don't have that much to work on this week, and since my Nerd Wars dissertation is no longer taking up that 10-minute slot, I think I will force myself to do spinning for 10 minutes a day this week and just get some of it done. Because the fiber is okay, it's new and it's good for me to practice using, all sorts of fiber. And I would just like it to be all spun up and maybe used for something instead of just sitting around in my stash. I feel compelled to use my stash. I like to look at my stash a little bit, but I'm more interested in making things than having a huge stash. Not that there's anything wrong with having a huge stash, I just like my stash to have a purpose. But that's me personally, and I don't have a problem with people who just have really, really, really nice stashes. I think that's awesome. I'm just not that person. Maybe when I'm older and don't have little kids in my face all the time, I will more appreciate having yarn instead of being like, where can I hide this so the kids don't touch it? On to new things. Yay! I'm really excited to show you new things. The first thing I'm going to show you is this new bag that I got. It is huge, first of all. It's a 31 bag, which they have really nice features like these grommets where you can stick your yarn through, and this bag has a ton of pockets on the outside. It has, I can't count in my head, 7 pockets on the outside. No pockets on the inside, but it's quite roomy. I got that as one of my gifts. Well, I only got one gift at the holiday party, which is fine. I'm grown up. I don't need a whole bunch of gifts. The kids got spoiled like normal, which is great. But I wasn't expecting a gift, and I got this, which is fantastic. It's the perfect size for any project that I want to take, plus stuff for the babies. So it's an excellent project/diaper bag sort of thing. Which I have project bags, and I don't actually have diaper bags anymore. I passed them all on. But I have project bags, but I didn't have any that were really suitable for diaper bags, which is kind of important with all of the holiday traveling that is going to be going on. So now I have one. It's fantastic. and I like the colors even. I have a 31 bag. It's very small though. It is holding the yarn for my sock yarn blanket right now. Hi, Boo! Our co-host is back. The second thing I want to show you is Rain dyed that yarn that I traded her for. She dyed it and gave it back to me, and now I have this. Hopefully this will come through. It is a really lovely red color. On my camcorder screen right now, it looks like mud, but in real life, it's like a really nice, almost maroon color. Hi. Can we be less loud? And hopefully this is enough to get me through the shawl. It should be. She still has some of the brown left, so if for some reason it's not, she could dye it up for me, but I think this will be enough. So I might cast this on this week, depending on if I feel the need to start things, because I finished things last week and I'll be finishing something else tonight, so I might start that this week. It's a pretty quick crochet. I was one of the test crocheters for the pattern, which I'll give you information on when I actually start working on it, but this yarn is gorgeous. Oh, I want to keep it for me, but I can't because it's for someone else. But, you know, it's gorgeous, and maybe there will be some leftovers for me. She dyed it, she actually dyed it this color to start out with, but she thought it was a little bit orangey, so she did. She added a little black, and I think it's just beautiful now. I think it's stunning. So Sam, if you're watching, that is what your shawl is going to be made out of. My co-host has been dismissed. One more thing that I really, really like about this new bag that I just got is that it's big enough to hold all of my works in progress inside their project bags if they have them, and you know, if they don't, now they all have one place to congregate. Mara is expressing her excitement over me turning on Caillou. That's what that was. Okay, so last week, Mary Gale, that's her name on Plurk. I'm not sure what it is on Ravelry, but I think it's the same. Her name is Mary. She has a Etsy shop called Spartacus Dyes, and last week was her 36th birthday, and on her birthday she had a 15% off coupon code. I'm a sucker for coupon codes if I'm looking at something anyway, not if I'm not looking. I had looked at her shop previously, and there had been a yarn that I was like, oh, I love that. And then she had a coupon code, so I was like, well, it's kind of a sign from the knitting gods that I have to go and pick out that yarn that I really, really wanted, because now there's a coupon. So I opened it. I couldn't just not open it. But then I put it all back inside the envelope because I love the packaging. Here you go. Here's the back. First of all, this tape, yes. Good call on the colors. I really like pink and black together. Mary Gale's daughter, Kiara, drew that picture, so that packaging is fantastic. Before you even open it, the packaging is amazing. And then you open it and greet it with tissue paper. I always think that's a nice touch. Not an absolutely necessary touch, but a nice touch. And then you unwrap that, and your yarn is in a little bag. A pretty bag. I'm a sucker for pretty packaging. And then here is the yarn that I got. Did your heart stop a little bit? Because my heart stopped when I first saw it. It's black with purple and teal and green and yellow and turquoisey and a little pinkish. Yeah, there's just all sorts of gorgeousness in this variegated. It's on the Will and Grace sock base, and it's the colorway Scandalous. I think you can read all of that. It looks pretty clear. And here's the other side of the card. I think these cards are really, really cute. And Kiara wrote a little thank you. Yep. I'm pretty sure Kiara is her daughter from what I've read on Plurk. I have only been friends with her on Plurk for about 2 weeks now, so I'm not positive. And Mary Gail, if I'm wrong about this, I'm really, really sorry. And correct me and I'll correct it next week on the show. But yes, I love the way you packaged it, and I love this yarn. I'm really excited to wind it into a ball and start making things. Obviously, after I get the rest of my Christmas projects done this week and work on Melissa's socks. But yeah, and not only that, she sent a little goodie which made the entire thing smell amazing. Oh, it's so good. It's oatmeal brown sugar soap, just a little sample, but I'm really, really excited. It's from Wolf Farms, which if you watch other podcasts, you've probably heard of it. This is the first thing that I have from Wolf Farms, but I can foresee myself ordering from them in the future, and also ordering from Mary again in the future, because she has some really, really lovely colorways in her shop that I'm still interested in. She also makes, she calls them parachute bags. They're just project bags that pull in on the top and they drop out like parachutes. Yeah, they're really, really nice. She just had a shop update, so I'll have a link to her shop in the show notes. Definitely check her out because her stuff is beautiful. And her packaging is great. So that is it for new things. On to the last segment, which is inspired by the fact that I went to a holiday party at Steve's dad's side of the family last week, and this coming week we're going to the holiday party for his mom's side of the family. So these are my 3 favorite things about going to other people's places to celebrate the holidays. The first thing is obvious. When I go somewhere else, I don't have to worry about if my apartment's clean enough, or, well, our townhouse. If our townhouse is clean enough for people to come over, I don't have to prep all of the food. I always bring something, but I don't have to prep the big things. I don't have to clean up afterwards. I always offer while I'm there to help clean up, but I always get shooed away. Always. Not at my family's, but at other people's families' holiday things, I always get shooed away. I still offer though, because I don't mind helping clean up. But it's nice that I don't have to. The second thing is I don't have to watch my kids so much. Usually their grandparents are really, really excited to play with them, and they play with all the new toys with the kids. I get some really good quality knitting time in while the kids are playing with their grandparents or with aunts, uncles, great aunts, you know, just everybody. It's really, really nice to have the peace to be able to sit there and just, you know, casually say, hey, don't do that, instead of having to get up every 5 seconds and stop them from touching things. Gabriel's not so bad. Mara is still in the, what's this? Let me touch it. Oh, a glass ornament. Cool. There was an almost accident. It was averted, but it could have been tragic. But it was okay. We saved the glass ornament. She actually set it on the edge of the table, and it might have tipped, but I was 3 feet away, so I scooted it back, and it was fine. She didn't mess with it anymore. And then the third thing is walking away with the swag. You don't have to make swag if you're going to a party, for the most part, but By swag, I mean food. I like food. And taking home leftovers is a really, really nice part of going somewhere else. Not having to deal with the leftovers yourself at your own place, because sometimes you get saddled with too much, but we brought home 3 Tupperware containers of fudge and some rum ball cookies and cake, 2 slices of cake. So we got all of that dessert plus the leftovers of the food that we brought, because at this past weekend the theme was a soup smorgasbord. So every person brought a thing of soup. We all brought too much, but that's fine. I don't mind eating my leftover soup. I actually made 2, one for me and one for Steve. Chicken soup is my favorite, so I made that for me, and he really likes my beef stew, so we made chicken soup and beef stew, and chicken soup will be nice since the kids are sick, and that's what I plan on reheating for dinner because I'm pretty tired. I got several hours of sleep, but I woke up every 2 hours because Gabriel would cough or Mara would cough, and Gabriel was just having a really hard time sleeping last night. We actually came downstairs and sat on the couch and ended up falling back asleep on the couch, but many times I got up to get him water and we cuddled. He was just feeling awful. Sorry, digressed. Yes, those are my 3 favorite things about going to other people's places for the holidays. Coming up next week, I will have some information about a few knit/crochet charity opportunities for the families and school affected by the Connecticut shooting, which I'm not going to talk about because it makes me cry every time I talk about it, and makes me even more nervous about sending Gabriel to school next year, even though it's something that needs to happen. I would be a terrible teacher, like a terrible homeschooling teacher. I think he's got a pretty solid grasp on the basics, but I'm just teaching things like colors, numbers, letters. That's easy for me because I can be like, oh, this is an A. What is this? An A. Okay, good. What color is this? Blue. But conceptual things like reading, I can show him letters and I can show him words, but I learned how to read when I was 3, maybe. I don't know. I was reading V.C. Andrews adult books when I was 6, like cover to cover, just reading them. So I've known how to read for as long as I can remember. I can't remember how to teach him how to read. I try, but I get frustrated because I'm like, this is easy, this is simple, just get it. I don't have the patience to teach. I don't understand the struggle to learn. I always made straight A's in school, and I heard once that people who are that good academically shouldn't be teachers because they can't relate when someone doesn't get it. So I would be a horrible homeschool teacher. So he's going to kindergarten next year. And things like that shooting just scare me. But yeah, I'll have information on some knit and crochet alongs because there are 3 that I know of going on, and I plan on partaking in at least 2 of them. So I'll let you know about that next week. I think that's all I wanted to say. I feel like I'm forgetting something. If I forget something, I'll type it up in the show notes. It was great to have you all sit around with me for the past, 45 minutes, probably, after editing. Thank you for coming back this week. I hope to see you next week. This is Bunnyfish Crafts. You can find the blog at bunnyfish.wordpress.com. There is a group on Ravelry, Bunnyfish Crafts Podcast, and you can find me on Ravelry or Plurk as Bunnyfish. Feel free to friend me. I love making friends and reading about what people are doing. Also, if you join the Ravelry group, go to the introductions welcome thread and introduce yourself. I would love to get to know you, have this be more of a conversation than a monologue. I hope you made something really excellent with your sticks and string, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye!